the moment you've all been waiting for, the epic clan war confrontation between Lost Phoenix and the #1 ranked clan in the world, Quantum's Web, has come to a close. David versus Goliath, Jack the Giant Slayer, Lost Phoenix stepped up to the plate and hit a home run. You want details? Well, let's just say Lost Phoenix came out of the gate at a full run. After 37 battles, we had 40 stars to Quantum Web's 18, and then after 60 battles, a huge 66-53 lead. Let's just say Lost Phoenix sprung out to the lead and never looked back. And how did we achieve this incredible feat? Lost Phoenix style. Full attack. Beginning with Look Trick 1979's victory over, that's right, the #1 ranked trophy player in the entire game, Boss Hog. And although Look Trick later claimed in clan chat that he learned some tips and tricks from me, this attack was definitely all him, as we watch a very unconventional style of attack and an unconventional troop mix here. He's got giants coming in to help lure out the clan castle troops, the king and the queen. He dropped those hog riders over there, got rid of that mortar. Now he's working on the royal lure, pulling them all out to the side here gradually, making sure that he's got all of the clan castle troops before he pulls them out here. Now eventually he does pull them all the way out to the area where that mortar used to be. And as you can see, they're generating an awful lot of skeletons on their way. And here you see that Boss Hog has, of course, 2 level 40 heroes, and Look Trick with only a level 26 queen. So he drops her early along with a rage spell just to make sure that he can get all the clan castle troops and this king and queen out of the way before he starts his main attack. And here he comes from the southeast with a golem and some wall breakers trying to work on getting through that wall. Yes, that is a P.E.K.K.A you see, you can believe your eyes. He's gone with a hybrid of the Go Wee Wee Go Wipe attack composition here. As he's gotten through that wall, eventually with those wall breakers, he drops another P.E.K.K.A, some wizards. He drops a golem up to the northeast, but this is actually going to end up being a non-issue. He didn't even need this extra golem. As his units are working their way in through this opening here, the queen is headed closer and closer. Now he's going to freeze that Inferno and the Expo and the cannon all at the same time to save some of those units as they move in. And he drops his king, and you can see they've targeted the town hall enclosure there. So with a well-placed rage spell, and yes, that's a jump spell, they're over the wall. The king is into the town hall enclosure already, and with one more rage spell right smack on the town hall goes down 50%, and Look Trick has pulled out a very quick 2-star victory over Boss Hog. And keeping with the theme of unusual attacks, here we have a replay from our own Lost Phoenix Overlord, Spencer, $23.
It's dollars.
Spencer with the overwhelming archer attack, or as I like to call it, don't try this at home. And what we're going to see here is a very tricky maneuver that's pretty difficult to pull off. As Spencer is luring the clan castle troops out, activating the heroes, he's going to intentionally drag out those clan castle troops out to over that southeastern wizard tower, and then he's going to use a lightning spell to not only take out the clan castle troops, but damage the wizard tower. He's going to repeat it again until that wizard tower is gone and all of the clan castle troops are gone. Then he takes out the other wizard tower, and now he begins taking out the heroes. Now here Spencer uses a golem to distract the queen and the dragon and eventually the king as he works his way down, and then just starts pouring in archers behind them. Those archers are going to go to town on the queen. They're going to take out that dragon, and in a few seconds here when the king makes it down here, he's going to go down as well. And then in reverse order from a Go Wee Wee or a Go Wipe attack, Spencer puts down his king and his queen, and they start to work on the outside structures here. And then eventually he starts just streaming in these archers from the due south. There ends up being 189 of them in this attack. And like we've talked about before, by watching the crosshair as he deploys these archers, he can tell where they're headed, and he can help make sure that they're headed exactly where he wants them to, which is going to be right for the town hall. You see that they can just melt through just about anything when there's that many of them on top of each other. It's actually misleading because once they bunch up here, you can't possibly tell how many are together, but you can only tell because of the way they melt through walls and defensive structures. And here you can see they're almost all ready to the town hall enclosure. They're just going to work on those walls there, eventually turning their sights on the blue wall. And now all those archers are bunched up together, but there is no splash damage in the area, so there's really nothing endangering them. They move in and just wipe out that town hall just about as fast as a level 40 queen would. And just before the town hall went down, we saw the first star for 50%. As we wrap up the attack, and Spencer with another 2-star victory for the clan war against Quantum's Web. Alright, let's move on to another attack replay, this one from Achurta. This is a familiar Southern Teaser style setup, and a familiar attack from Achurta. It is OP Queen. That's right, 1 level 40 Queen and 10 healers will wreak destruction on this Quantum Web base. Now, the Queen Healer combination is always fun to watch, but this one is more exciting than most, and we'll see that in about 2 minutes. As the Queen works her way in, eventually drawing out the Clan Castle troops, and Achurta has brought along a lightning spell, so he waits for them to bunch up there, uses the lightning spell, which wipes out almost all the Clan Castle troops. The Queen, still at full health, is going to take out the last of those skeletons, and now she'll move on to clearing those structures. Eventually, here comes the opposing Queen. But she's definitely no match for this Queen and her winged friends, as they go head to head, and the defending Queen goes down in just a few shots. Now the Queen has moved on. She's going to start to make her way up here to the northwest, clearing the surrounding structures. Things are going quite smoothly, pretty slowly so far. But that is one of the keys to this attack, is patience and saving those rage spells for just when you need them. As she moves closer and closer to that town hall enclosure, eventually she's going to activate those Teslas there, but she takes those out right away. Now he drops in some, that's right, less than maxed wall breakers, but they get right through that level 11 wall. Now he uses a rage spell, and look at that, perfectly placed, rages the Queen, rages the healers, and so now the Queen can take out the King even though there's a crossbow and 2 Teslas on her. And before the beam can get too intense, she goes invisible, breaks the contact with the beam, takes out the crossbow. Now another perfectly placed rage spell, and she'll take out that Inferno Tower. And then, as Queens will do, she wanders away from the town hall, heads over here, takes out a few structures, spends a whole bunch of time wasting her time trying to kill this level 10 wall. She eventually gets through it, gets the structures out of the way that apparently she had something against, finally turns around, and here's where the major confrontation happens. Once she moves inside, she's got 5 or 6 defensive structures all firing on her at the same time. She takes out the Teslas, but now that Inferno's on her. Perfectly timed freeze spell saves her. She's down to maybe 5% health. It's just an unbelievably close battle here. A second freeze spell just in time to save her as she takes out the town hall, gets that 2nd star. And not a moment too soon, because as soon as that Inferno thaws out, it wipes out the Queen, but she's done her job. Achurta wraps up 2 more stars for our clan war against Quantum's Web. But not everybody had a fantastic day in the clan war against Quantum's Web. Here, as we look at a replay of mine.
#Galafail.
And here I am attacking Camillus from Quantum's Web in a very familiar Southern Teaser style base that you may have seen in some of my videos in the past. So I went ahead and pulled the King and the Queen out. That took me a little while, but I do eventually get them out to the right here. And a massive number of barbarians, just a couple of witches and wizards here. The King and the Queen go down. So I start my main attack here by dropping a couple of golems, wall breakers to get through that corner there. Golems spread out, wizards spread out. I'm going to patiently wait for all of those Clan Castle troops to come out and bunch up on that one golem on the right there before I zap them with a lightning spell. Now he's got his Teslas in a pretty strategic spot there, preventing those first wall breakers from getting through, but this second group is huge. I've got a rage spell down, and now here's a mistake. The King and the Queen should not have come down yet. There's too many structures. They're not going to head where I want them to here. The Queen is going to wander a bit. So the heroes are not going to have protection from those other units here. I've already had to use the first freeze spell. And now I drop the second freeze spell, but the first Inferno Tower is thawed out, though, so the King is going to go down. The Queen's invisible, but both Inferno Towers are still standing, so the Queen is going to race to try to take out that Town Hall, but with that Inferno Tower on the right just wipes her out. The Town Hall with maybe 10% left, and I'm only at 48%. Thankfully, I've got a few wizards left, protected by those golems, and they are going to squeak out 1 star. And I just barely managed to avoid a brutal loss there in our clan war against Quantum's Web. So an epic war it was. Lost Phoenix battled to the very end. But yes, I guess I do have to admit that we did not manage to pull out the victory. We had a good time trying. We really honestly didn't expect to win. And they did beat us 94 to 79 stars.
Oh, don't cry, Galadon. You want a tissue?
So as episode 51 comes to a close, we have already spun our next opponent, Exodius 2. And based upon what I see here, it looks like Exodius feels about as lucky to have ended up matched up with us as we did to be matched up with Quantum's Web. Thanks again very much for the kind comments, you guys. I'll be back soon. Until next time, remember, make every attack a full attack.
And another good episode coming soon.
And a shout out to Jinsei of Lost Phoenix 3 one more time for this fantastic channel art. Thank you again, Jinsei.